In this video, we're going to show you how to install the driver's side front power window regulator on your Cadillac Escalade located in the front driver's door. Right behind the door pull here, there's going to be a little cup. We're going to use our pocket screwdriver and go into the back side. Just give it a little twist and pop this out. Go ahead and pop that little bucket out. Inside this pocket right here, we're going to use our pocket screwdriver. We're going to remove this trim right here. Up inside here, there's going to be a 7mm screw. Use our socket and extension. Go ahead and spin that out. Inside here, I'm going to remove these two screws. On the bottom side of the door panel, you can find two 7mm screws. Let's go ahead, loosen and remove those. Along the bottom of your door panel, you're going to feel a little opening as you run your fingers underneath here. You can try just using your fingertips and pull on that door panel outward towards you, or you can use a plastic trim tool to go ahead and do so. Once you get those plastic pins released, you work your way up around the perimeter on both sides. We're going to push our lock button down inside. Grab that door panel. I'm going to lift up, pushing up on the door panel, separating the window sweep area from the top of the door. Would you separate this here? We need to go to the inside behind the door panel and separate the electrical connectors. I'm going to press in on the little tabs, disconnect. Do the same thing down here. On the back side of this bulk connector here, there's a red lock tab. You want to lift this upward towards the wiring harness. Then lift up on this gray lock tab. It'll hinge upward, and we can disconnect that bulk harness here. We have our door handle release cable right here. On this white tab right on the top, we're going to press down on the top and pull it outward. Slide the cable out from the side, and then pull the cable and ball end out of the handle. Go ahead and set that door panel aside. Let's go ahead and remove this bracket here. We're going to use our 7mm socket to remove the two screws holding this in place. We want to remove our water shield here. Now we're going to grab the upper ear here, the corner, and gently pull us down. And you can see that there is some adhesive on the back side here. What we're going to do is we're going to use a razor blade. If you're going to use a razor blade, be super careful. And what you want to do is simply cut the adhesive. Do not cut the backing material here or the water shield. And what we're going to do is pretty much just chase this around the perimeter. This is resealable, reusable. So when we install this, this will still be tacky and will seal up just like it did originally from the factory. Just continue this all the way around until we can remove the water shield completely. Now with the water shield removed, we're going to reconnect our bulkhead connector into the door panel itself. What we want to do is we want to raise our window Now what we're going to be looking for is on the left and right hand side, there's going to be bolts that are securing our glass to the window regulator. It's going to be one on the front and one on the back. So you can access one of the bolts right through this port right here. On the left hand side over here, you're going to access the other bolt through this plastic rubber plug here, or this port. We'll pop that out to access that bolt. At this point here, disconnect your bulkhead connector again. Set that aside, shut the key off. And use my pocket screwdriver here, just pop in behind here. Pop that grommet out. Now I want to go ahead and loosen the two bolts here. They are 10 millimeter. Now we're not going to remove the bolts. We're just loosening the clamping ability of the regulator clamps for the glass. So just spin those out a little bit. All right, plenty loose. Now you can use tape if you want. We're going to use our glass suction cups to support the glass in place here, so we can go ahead and remove that regulator without the glass dropping down. I'm going to put our key back on in the ignition, reconnect our door panel power again. So our clamp right here is now separated. Same on the back one there, and our glass is still stationary up top. Let's go ahead and disconnect our connector again. Put that door panel aside and shut off the ignition. Disconnect the connector going to the power window motor. In the bottom left-hand side here is a red locking tab. You can use your pocket screwdriver. Just gently pry that down. Then you want to press on the gray release lock there and pull this connector out, like so. Next, we want to go ahead and remove the 5 10 millimeter nuts supporting the regulator. There's one here. Go straight down vertically here. There's one in the middle here holding that motor. And on the right-hand side, there's up on the top here, and then straight down at the bottom. Let's go ahead, loosen and remove these nuts. Now at this point, we're going to go ahead and push our guides with studs into the door shell. Do the same on the other side. And you just want to go ahead and work the unit up and out of the door. Go ahead and feed the regulator into the door. Just take your time manipulating the unit into place, moving cables and wiring harnesses, whatever you need to do. Once it's in there, you want to go ahead and get the bracket into place so that the studs come through. All right, we have the left bracket installed. I'm going to go ahead and throw the nuts on there just to secure it in place. Let's get the forward bracket and the motor installed here. Make sure that the regulator is behind your glass. It's very important. Install these nuts. Then we'll go ahead and snug those down. Go ahead and snug these down. Install your wiring harness to the motor. You feel it in here, it's snap into place. Don't forget to install or press in on the red lock here. Push that in, that'll snap in. Go ahead and put the key on for the ignition. Reconnect our bulkhead connector. I want to raise up this window regulator. I want to make sure that our glass is inside the guides. So you can reach up inside and make sure that the glass is sitting inside the U channel there. Both sides are seated inside the clamps. So now is a good time to disconnect the door panel again. Shut off the ignition. Now I want to go ahead and tighten down these two bolts here, securing the glass to the regulator. Now once that bottoms out, give it a good quarter turn. Bolt is bottomed out, quarter turn. Now in our particular case here, before we reassemble everything, I am going to test the regulator with the glass installed. So here we are again, reconnecting. We'll pop off our suction cups here, take your tape off. And we just want to test it. Make sure it goes down okay. All right, our glass is going up and down just fine. Install your water shield. Don't forget to pull the cable through. Otherwise, when you put the door panel on, you're going to be struggling to locate that. And pretty much you're just going to line up the water shield where it was before. Just work your way around the perimeter, pressing on that gasket that you previously separated. And once you have that water shield on, don't forget to install the plug for that left regulator bolt. Simple, just line it up and push it in. We have to install our metal bracket right here, but what we have to screw into are these little metal tabs here. Now you can see when you bring this up to line it up with the hole, they drop down, and that's not going to help when we go to install the bracket because we won't be able to line that up. A little tip, take a little dab of RTV, put it right around the hole there. Now we're not using a lot, just a little smear. I'm going to slide this tab up. And this should hold us just long enough for us to get that bracket in. Take your bracket, there are 2 pins here. They'll line up with the holes on the top. Go ahead and take your screws, line those up. It's perfect that our TV did the job just to secure that in place while we get these installed. Once that bottoms out, quarter turn. Bottomed out, quarter turn, nice and secure. Before reinstalling our door panel, I need to slide out our window guide here, or our felt. There are retainer tabs here running across the top. There's a total of 5 of them. We're just going to use our pocket screwdriver, and we want to pop these out of the door panel itself. When you remove the clips here, you want to make sure that you notice that the hook part of this is facing down. Now that we have these all removed, we need to install these on the door first. Now along the top of our door shell here, there's actually little openings here, a little bump out with a hole in the top. And there's 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is where your clips come in. You have that little hook right here, and that actually inserts. Snap it down into place, and we're going to repeat this process for the other 4. The reason why we're doing this is that you cannot get the door panel installed and slide these clips into place because it's such a small area. So these have to get popped out, installed, and that way there when we install our door panel, you're going to set it down and push it in, and it'll lock into these tabs. All right, there's our last clip. Now that we have our clips installed, we can install our window sweep here, making sure that the felt side faces the glass. And there's a groove right here that is going to fit right over the top of the door sill. Press that in. With that installed, let's go ahead and hang our door panel. Let's go ahead and hang our components on the back side. You're going to put the cable with the ball end on the back side of the handle. You're going to pull on that cable. You can see it stretches there. Swing it around. And this will fit right in. You'll hear it click and lock into place. So this cable is all set. Install the bulkhead connector here. You're going to push that in. You're going to hear it and feel it snap in. Push down on the gray connector. Snap it in. And then there's a red lock tab here. You're going to push that down. We have our connector right here. Connect that. And we can lift up on the door panel. You want to get your door lock rod here to come through the hole. So you're going to pull the bottom side of that door panel out. Press in on those locks, and then just work your way around the perimeter, locking in all those push buttons. Look around the perimeter of the door shell or the door panel. Make sure that it is flush all the way around. Once it's all flush, go ahead and reinstall your screws holding the door panel. Install the 2 screws inside the door pull area here. I'm going to thread those in as far as I can by hand, and then I'll come on back and snug those down. Install the upper screw behind the door release handle. Just push that right in and it snaps in. And then we have this here. The back side here has a little tab. We need to insert that down and in, and then just press down the front side.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.